Hi, Henk Akkermans, Supply Network Dynamics session and chapter 4, clip number 6. Let's look at some historical behavior and also oscillation in that behavior. So if we run the model, see that here is the historical behavior, the historical demand. If you then go to some of the first screens, and here you see that this is a history-friendly simulation in the sense that the simulation sort of follows the historical behavior, but not quite. Production output is somewhat delayed, but nevertheless it does peak somewhere up here. And not surprisingly, then inventory is also somewhat delayed, but also a similar peak. What may strike you up here is that we seem to have two cycles here. One peak, yet another peak. One down period, another down period. Up here also. That suggests oscillation. That suggests inherent oscillation. The quickest way to find out if we have inherent oscillation is often to run the model for a longer time period. We then keep on having fluctuations. It's not an initialization issue, but it's a steady state issue. And what it is suggesting, we are now looking at the capacity utilization rate, is that indeed this is the case. Production output keeps fluctuating, inventory keeps fluctuating. So yes, we do have oscillation here. If you wonder, yeah, but that's because of the initial very strange, we also have oscillation here. Let's give a step input, we can do that. If we turn on the switch oscillation test, then in the new order rate is only a one-time increase and in a step function and not an oscillation. As you can see here, it goes like this, and still everything continues to oscillate. We have oscillation, we know from theory, if there is a negative feedback loop with multiple delays. Now where does it play out? In many cases in this model, but as it turns out, the key driver for instability is the capacity. If we make the capacity fixed, then you see that we also don't have the oscillation anymore. And now make capacity no longer fixed. And we have a one-time increase, but it stays stable. So we have oscillation, and it's due to the fact that it is somewhere located in the capacity acquisition and capacity release process. Well, that's easily said, but what do you do about it?